Hello everybody. Appreciate you guys watching. Quick video for everyone. Today is October 21st, 2025. It is roughly about 12:50 right now. And what I wanted to talk about briefly is give you an update on the hurricane season. As you guys know, we're approaching, we still have about 5 weeks left, 6 weeks left. But historically, not a whole lot happens in November. Yes, we have had some activity in the past, but historically, that's a key word, not a whole lot happens. Now, I'm making this video because I want to talk to you what you guys are seeing on the screen, which is the newly formed Tropical Storm Melissa. Tropical Storm Melissa, it is going to be a very interesting scenario. It's not looking like it is gonna come to Florida, but it is a very interesting scenario what is gonna potentially happen with this storm. If you guys look carefully in the cone put out by the National Hurricane Center, you guys are gonna notice that the storm barely moves for almost a whole week, and that is the problem. So as of right now, there is so the storm is basically, let me explain something to you guys, especially if you guys are new to weather or new to the channel. Storms move basically or steered by the atmosphere patterns. Give you some examples. I've mentioned this in my videos before many times. The Bermuda High, for example. There's other so they call it Bermuda High because it's a persistent high pressure system or ridge that blocks the storms from moving north. Well, they call it Bermuda High because it's persistent around Bermuda, but they're not normally called like that. They're just high pressure ridges or high pressure systems, and they form pretty much anywhere. So right now you have the Bermuda High that is basically kind of like in this area where I'm gonna zoom in, so east of Bermuda basically, but it can extend and expand and all that stuff. And then you have another high pressure ridge right now that is basically covering the whole Gulf and Yucatan Peninsula and all that stuff, and including Florida. So right now what is happening is those systems are potentially going to block the storm from moving anywhere. And in other words, there's nothing to move it around and pull it. Whenever there's a break in the ridge, which is caused by a trough, a lot of this trough in this part of the season, later in the season, a lot of those cold fronts, those troughs start coming up coming down from Canada and sweep through the United States and make it all the way south. I mean, even all the way into the Caribbean. And that's basically what is expected to happen. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen quick enough. And that's why the storm is just basically stuck. Like, it doesn't know where to go. There's no strong enough current to really pull it and keep it moving. And it's just kind of like sandwiched in between these two high pressure systems. That's why it's actually going to just barely move for almost a whole week. That is the problem, because it's expected to, in some instances, some parts of Hispaniola, especially Haiti and the southern part of Hispaniola in general, there's I was looking at earlier some rain potentials, some rain forecast, and in some areas it's very possible that we may see 2 feet of rain. I mean, 24 inches of rain, and even higher than that, depending on localized areas. I mean, the conditions have to be just right to even increase much more than that, but it's a possibility, and that's the concern. As you guys know, Haiti, it is not in good shape, and unfortunately, they're going to get hit with a lot of rain. I mean, a lot, which is gonna, because see, Florida is flat. But you get a lot of you get like the eastern part of Cuba, you have Jamaica, you have Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, where there are some decent mountains, and that is a recipe. When you start dumping so much rain and you have high mountains, that's gonna cause landslides, and that's the biggest concern. Landslides, flooding, for all the Caribbean islands that this storm may come in contact with. There is a lot of uncertainty, unfortunately, and that's the biggest issue, is that even the models, I'm going to show you some spaghetti models. You guys are going to notice that the spaghetti models are just there. Like, literally, they don't even know where the storm is going to go. And there's a high amount of uncertainty. Some take it, like if I zoom out, let me show you tropical tidbits. I thought I had it pulled up, but I guess not. So when you look at tropical tidbits, current storm, right? You guys look at Melissa. Let's take out the satellite imagery. Let's take a look. So first of all, that's what Melissa looks like right now. Try and zoom in. There you go. So there's a nice burst of convection. It basically goes up, it goes down, goes up, goes down. But overall, the storm is intensifying and it's pretty far south, as you guys can see. It's actually closer to almost Venezuela, actually. And that, to me, is part of the concern, where it could, and you'll see. Like I said, I want to show you guys, but I'll show you guys what it's looking like. But let's go and take a look at let's take a look at the spaghetti models, actually. So I show you already the cone, the spaghetti models. I mean, you guys can see this black line. The black line basically means is the average, and that black line keeps just getting pushed further west, and that's actually again. Let me go back here. There we go. Like if we look at, I think it was the 0C. Let me see. Yeah, air. I guess it's not even pulling up. But anyways, personally, I think that the center of the storm is actually not really there. I feel it's actually further south. So that's gonna alter the actual track quite a bit. But let's take a look at the forecast models as usual. So right now the GFS is running, so that will be the 12Z. So again, if you can zoom in, intensifies into a hurricane, and right now it just has it crossing over Hispaniola and then basically out to sea. Okay, now let's take a look at what the European says. Now the European hasn't updated yet, but the Euro has it, again, stalling for days, just like everybody else, but moving further west and stalling almost near Jamaica, and then kind of, stalling there. I mean, literally, this thing just sits there with 978 pressure. That's a Category 3 hurricane. So cutting through potentially eastern Cuba. Now let's take a look at the Canadian model. The Canadian model is interesting. The Canadian model actually has it going a lot further west. 998, intensifying, and then just kind of just getting pushed off out to sea, but more like central Cuba. And then let's take a look at the icon. Now the icon has it pretty much just weak storm, Mindling, just south of Haiti, moves a little bit further west, gets closer to Cuba, and then just kind of stops there and potentially doesn't even develop it. But again, what I'm trying to point out here, guys, is how much uncertainty there is right now because of the current pattern not really being there. The expectation is that there's going to be a trough kind of like that is going to help it swooped up and then kind of go out to sea. That is basically what the majority of the models are looking. Now, how strong that or how far south it goes, that again is the discrepancy. So one thing I will tell you guys is this. If you guys are in Hispaniola, Cuba, Jamaica, you guys need to be paying attention very, very carefully at this storm. Not for a wind event, but mostly a rain and flooding event. That is the rain event is basically what I'm mostly concerned about. Like I mentioned before, there are some models that show potentially up to 24 inches of rain and even more. So that's one of the things that I want to point out, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Stay in touch. I will continue to post as this storm develops, as story develops in general. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe. Let's try to get this. I'm trying to get to as close as I can to 1,000 subscribers. And I'm not gonna lie, I know it haven't been as consistent, but it has been a struggle to trying to get as close as I can to 1,000 subscribers. But you guys, hey, I appreciate you guys. Nevertheless, you know, have over 500 now, and I really appreciate that. But I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers at least, and be able to reach out even more people with weather news. And again, no hype, no nothing, no nonsense. Just like a lot of other channels, unfortunately, out there, all they're doing it is for the clicks, and they put all these colorful and doomsday scenario thumbnails. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna break it down to you straight how I see it, how the experts are saying, and that it may potentially play out. But I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys. Have a good day, and don't forget to like and subscribe this video.